We are live from Melbourne, Australia. Bringing you the Performance Hub podcast. Strap yourself in as we explore the world of human performance. No BS, no hidden agenda, just real-world applicable information to help you optimize your human performance. Without further ado, here are your hosts, Coach Max and Karl.
We're back.
We are back. Let's run through the last week. What in the life of Max? What's happened the last week?
Oh, I feel like a lot's happened. What do we have? We had the long weekend.
Yep, long weekend just passed.
But and you would agree, I'm sure. But
yep,
I've discovered that public holidays, when you run your own business, they're actually the worst, because it just means that you have to do the exact same amount of stuff, but you have less time to do it in.
Yeah.
And for me, it's a real pain because daycare shuts on a public holiday.
Oh, so you can't actually get ahead.
Yeah. So if anything, it's like you do more work on the public holiday.
Yeah. You're exhausted.
But yeah,
maybe why you're
that's
feeling
probably
a little
why
bit cooked, because you've had an extra day.
Yeah.
Of day daycare.
Yeah, it's like people say you can't call it daycare if it's your child, but I do.
It's worse. You just don't get paid for it.
Correct.
Yeah, pretty much the same. Went to a place in Fitzroy. We had it's not Green Cup, but it does Asahi.
Oh yeah, nice.
I can't give them a plug because I don't know what their name is.
Was it good?
It's good. Yeah, Kat's a big fan, and I was like, okay, let's go. We'll go. It was nice weather, so we went.
Yeah, I think when it's hot.
Yeah, middle winter. No,
yeah,
not doing
it's
that.
just weird. But yeah, on a hot day.
Yeah,
with like that peanut butter. Stuff.
Yeah. They've actually got this place now is starting to do the pistachio cream.
Ooh,
oh
now we are
no!
talking.
I was like, you got to be kidding. I didn't look how much it was, but I'd imagine it would be. You'd be paying for it.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
Nah, it's very hard to get pistachio cream, let alone get it on an actual acai bowl.
Well, I think that must be where they make all their money, because you go like the normal bowl is a certain price, but it's like, oh, you want peanuts? It's $8.
Yeah. Fresh, blueberries, whatever it is on there.
Yeah, that's another $5.
There you go. It adds up.
Adds up real quick.
But the actual salt like this is quite substantial.
Yeah, they're filling.
Yeah.
They're filling. So, look, if anybody wants to sponsor the show that wants to give us some acai bowls.
Yeah.
Acai.
Acai. Yeah. What's the actual?
Yeah, acai.
Acai.
Yeah. But you got to say it with like a bit of a Brazilian, like Portuguese accent.
Acai.
Acai. But it's not acai.
Acai, no.
Acai.
No. It's like people say chow.
Yeah. Or espresso.
Oh, yes.
But what are we actually talking about today?
Well, we thought we'd stay with the festive season, and coming into Christmas, it's the time of giving. So you're going to get some presents. You're going to give some presents. You want to make another person just feel good, and you want to make sure you get the right gift. And we thought, how do we tie it into fitness? And then we thought, clearly we've all given into over the years some trends, some gimmicks, infomercials, and we've purchased things that probably have just collected dust over the years.
Oh, 100%.
And we shared this with the team the other day and the members, and we put it out there. Who's purchased something that they regret, gotten trapped into one of those fitness gimmicky pieces of equipment? And I put my hand up first and said that the Abswing Pro was my purchase.
But I mean, you look great.
Well, it's really paid off, hasn't it? Well, I reckon I was a teenager, and I was like, "Mum, you got to get this." Like,
You've got to.
I don't know if you've seen the commercial.
It's like Chuck Norris is endorsing it, so it's good.
And I reckon the commercial. We should get a snippet of the commercial, but I reckon the original commercial had like the whole thing was selling it like you get abs in however long, like obviously it's always time bound.
Yeah,
it's like
just watching TV and you're just sitting on your Abswing Pro.
Yeah, there was a person literally reading a book as they're going up and down. I was like, that's fantastic. It might yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'll give her a plug. I'm pretty sure my sister's Instagram name is still Abswing Pro or Ab King Pro. Because her name is Abby.
Abby, yeah. I mean, that's just genius marketing, isn't it?
Yeah, so
branding.
Give her a plug.
Yeah, good work.
But yeah, and it used to be some guy, like he's covered in baby oil, but he's just casually doing some crunches after dinner.
Yeah, I mean, I've got you think when we coach and we're explaining at the same time, it's a whole new level of doing it, being able to sell a product
Yep.
and exercise at the same time
And look good.
So,
Hats off to them.
It takes a level of conditioning and capability to be able to do that for sure. So, hats off to them in that aspect.
Yeah, and I mean, to address the elephant in the room, obviously they did not get washboard abs from using the ab swing or the ab king or whatever it was called.
No.
There might have been, years of hard work, dedication in the gym, sticking to a strict diet, maybe some steroids. So yeah, unfortunately, for 3 easy payments, for $49.99.
Correct. It's like you got a door, you got a gym.
Well, that's what I had.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good segue. Michaela bought it for me, my wife actually, and I don't know. I would have been like,
was she trying to say something?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think at that stage I was just really into everything.
Yeah.
And I was really into like mixed martial arts and stuff. And I
Yes.
think she got it for me because those guys were like endorsing it.
Yes.
And it was like, well, UFC champion uses this.
It's a secret. It's been hiding it from us.
Yeah. And I think when I first got it, I was like, oh, this could be cool because it's like, essentially like a cable setup.
Yes.
But you attach it to a door.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you've got a door, you've got a gym. There was some flaws with it.
But on a surface, like if you look at everything, because there's some things you see products wise, you're like, okay, this is a massive gimmick. But on a surface level, you looked at that and you're like, I can see how this could work.
Yeah, definitely. And I think at that stage as well, it was when like functional training first like really started to get legs. So I was like, this is functional as hell. The problem was you had all these like bands on there, right? And it was basically like you would click to like one band for like light resistance and then just add more bands. But it was either no resistance or you could pull the door off at the hinges, right? So
did you have any close calls?
Oh, yeah. I had one when I was doing, I don't know what it was. Maybe it's like some presses or whatever. And then the thing like kind of ripped off the top of the door and just like flung across the room. And I was like, that's probably the last time we're going to use this.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the pull-up bars that you're meant to wedge in between the frame of the door.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, that's a recipe.
That's a 100% recipe for disaster. Or like, when people put it on like a brick wall?
Yes. Yep.
But it's like, even though they say like you shouldn't put like a basketball ring on a brick wall if you're going to dunk from it, because there's been like horror stories of like you can pull the whole wall down, because it's like, brick walls aren't really designed for the force to be going sideways through them.
No.
So it's like you got to be careful with that kind of stuff.
100%. But I suppose with the basketball ring, it's like the smallest moment that you're going to be putting a bit of force into it.
Yeah,
but if you do want to pull up, it's like there's force and time that's not on your side.
Sets after set after set. Not ideal.
No.
But yeah, I think what other hilarious ones? I reckon a lot of them would have been as well, like surely there was like 5-minute abs or what have you.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is probably back in the day when you still got like DVDs and stuff. But everybody would have got that.
Oh, of course. Yep. And it just, like I said at the start, the timeline, just, how do we sell this better? It literally went from like 9 minutes to 6 minutes to 3 minutes to 1 minute washboard abs. Like, again,
and they know, because it's like those commercials start. It's like 10 o'clock at night. You've had dinner. You've probably had some dessert.
You've indulged.
You feel like, I am feeling fat. And then all of a sudden, it just pops up on the TV.
Yeah.
Call this number today. It's normally $1,000.
Yeah.
It's only $50 right now.
And like the reason they are, when they come on, they're loud, obnoxious, in your face is because they're trying to grab your attention.
Yeah.
Because you're half asleep at that time of the
100%.
night
It's
and
like,
the morning.
It's people, it's like a real old person thing. But like I'm getting old, so it's like you get sensitive to the volume of things.
Yes.
But it's like the ads are absolutely louder than the TV show.
Yes. Yes.
Right? So that's very deliberate, as you say. It's like to grab your attention. You're like, what is this?
Yes. And then they get your curiosity with the straight away. They'll
the beautiful people.
And they'll make some, outrageous statement to really get you in. And then once they've got you in, that's where the money flies.
It's pretty funny. And I think a lot of the time, like most people have probably fallen for like, there's like the product stuff.
Yes.
But the supplement stuff. Like, that's where everybody has a story of that, especially like a lot of our clients, right?
Yeah.
It's like whether it's the like there's a high profile ones these days, like your Herbalife.
Yeah.
Is it like OptiFast or the Man Shake, or is it Slim Shake?
Slim. Yeah, it sounds Slim Fast.
They
Slim
all
Shake.
sound so similar.
Yeah. Yeah.
For a reason, obviously, but they're on all the infomercials as well.
Yes.
It's like, don't go to the shops and buy vegetables.
No.
Just take this.
100%. Yeah, all the detox diets.
Yeah. Or I'm going to throw Mum under the bus. I mean, surely she's not going to listen. But she, and like for years, I was like,
careful.
It's a pyramid scheme. She would buy.
As long as she's at the top.
Yeah, it was like goji berry juice. And it was like her and all of her friends were into this stuff, right?
Yep.
And it was Himalayan goji berries, right? And they were meant to
you got my interest.
Antioxidants, detox, all the rest of it, anti-aging, like anything, any buzzword was on there. And then this was when I would have been in high school, and I was like, what is this? Like, this is nonsense. And I remember like just one day Googling it, and I was like, Matt, do you actually think this comes from like the Himalayas? Like someone's like, you're a Sherpa, like they're going to trek up the mountain to these berries.
Yeah. Working hard for it.
And it was literally like manufactured in Geelong from blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, showed her this on the website.
Oh, no.
And definitely like shattered her hopes and dreams.
Oh, yeah.
But I was like, someone's got to do it. Because it was not cheap.
No, like, I mean, if what they say is what they're actually advertising, and actually then that would come at a price point for sure.
100%. I mean, what other classic supplement ones are there? I think the detox ones are probably like all the juices,
the juice cleansers. Yeah.
They're another one that everyone's probably gone for.
Yeah. And I mean, like, we talk about, if we go in, okay, the science behind it, it's like, don't eat anything of substance. The only thing you're going to have is liquid. It's like, you probably would be in a bit of a deficit and lose a little bit of weight, but at the same time, it's probably not the most sustainable thing, because once you go back to your normal behaviors and routines, then the weight will fly back on.
Well, exactly. And not just that, even with the extended fasts, they come and go in terms of popularity, often, paired in with a juice cleanse. So it's like, you're not going to eat for 48, 72 hours or what have you.
Yeah.
And so people are like, I've lost weight. It's like, yeah, well, of course you have. But a big part of that, even when it's the juice cleanse, is there's just less volume in your stomach and in your digestive tract.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yep.
So like you'll probably lose a kilo just from that. It's not any form of real body weight. It's just food matter is gone.
Yeah.
So when you do eat again, it's definitely going to come back on.
100%. Yeah. So I guess where we're tying this in and while we're going down this rabbit hole is, look, we're always trying to look for what is that magic solution, what is that secret that's going to ultimately get us to what we want. And if we're going to take that a step further, how can we do that in the quickest amount of time or the shortest amount of time with the least amount of effort, if I'm being
I think
spot on about it.
100%. And the reason all of these infomercials and products and etc., like they're set up in a certain way, is because that's what works, because that's human nature, right? And even you and I, we know more than the average person about health, fitness, all that kind of stuff. And we've been sucking in and been like, afterwards you're kicking yourself. You're like, you idiot. Obviously you can't get abs on the ab swing, right?
Yeah.
But at the time you're like, ooh.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Scratch the itch a little bit, but it's exactly. When you actually think about it from a rational point of view, you're like, okay, let me take a step back here.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And I guess if we're trying to tie this into, the silly season, and as you were saying, like gift purchasing and even like Black Friday is coming up. So all this stuff's going to get thrown out there like no tomorrow. If we're trying to think of a positive spin on it.
Yes.
Right. So first thing I would always say is if you're buying people gifts, I would be pretty, not cautious, but I would consider who you're buying it for and how it's going to go down if you start buying health and fitness stuff.
And how it's going to be perceived. Yes.
Yeah. Like,
even
if your intentions are pure.
Yeah.
It's like, you buy someone a gym membership and they're going to be like, oh, what are you trying to say?
Yeah, no, 100%. It's like if they've, I guess, taken that first step in showing I guess, interest and desire to want to make that change, then facilitate that in the best way you can and support them through that. But at the same time, you want to make sure that they've done that on their own, because once you take that away, or once you are no longer in the picture or whatever, then it can be really hard for them to have that want and desire to take that step.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, we've had it both ways, where we've had people say, hey, I want to buy this for my partner who does not come here as a client or what have you. And I've said, probably not the best idea. Speak to your partner first before you buy her a gym membership. Without, her knowledge, consent, etc. So I would not suggest doing that. On the flip side, though, we've definitely had people reach out whose partner, or whether it's their mum or whoever who's trained with us, they know loves it. It's like, hey, can I buy them, some extra personal training, or can I buy them this? Because I know that they're really going to appreciate that.
Yeah.
Then yes, that's a fantastic idea.
Yes.
Because you know that the person already likes doing it.
Yes.
Right. So
they're really going to value it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I think you don't want to be too forceful with like, hey,
no, that
you should get
100%. And I guess if we go back to all the gimmicky stuff, we should have sort of touched on, if it sounds too good to be true, then it is most likely too good to be true. So that is a red flag straight away.
100%. I mean, when it comes to anything physical changes, right? Whether it's weight loss, whether it's building muscle, whether it's improving your fitness, etc. There are things you can do absolutely to give yourself a little bit of a boost or a little bit of a head start. It's going to be marginal though, right? I mean, some of the best things you could do would be like, okay, if you hired a personal trainer, would you get in shape faster? Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Like we know that's the case. Is a fat burner going to do it? No, it's not.
No.
Is there any supplement that's really going to supercharge your progress? No. There are some that can help a little bit, don't get me wrong, and they can make your life a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's anything, especially over-the-counter stuff, where you'd be like, oh, yeah, this is the absolute game changer.
Yeah.
Before I took this, I could barely, walk up a flight of stairs, and now I can run a marathon.
Yeah.
Like, no, that stuff does not exist.
Yeah. It's like you said, it complements, and if anything, it can be a bit of the cream on top when it comes to your health and well-being. So if we've obviously got a bit of skin in the game.
We do.
We've been in the industry now for a little bit.
We're old.
We're pretty old. If we were to be like, okay, we appreciate that, yes, as much as there is that noise around these certain gimmicks that will pop up, and we're always looking for that shiny object that's going to be the next best thing. And okay, is there a secret formula? What would you tell our listeners?
I would say there's not.
Yeah. Why? How could you crush my dreams?
Oh, I don't want to. I don't want to crush anyone's dreams.
No.
But yeah, I think people aren't stupid. So I think it's more being aware and going, okay, is this an emotional decision that I'm making?
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, everything I guess is emotional at the end of the day. But take a step back and just go, hang on a minute. Yep. Does the sum total of my experience
yes
tell me that this is likely to work?
Yep.
Yes or no?
Yep.
Because if you use that, most of the time it's going to be a no. I think at the same time, there are some things that are absolutely gimmicks that can work really well.
Yep.
Right? And in terms of, there is a lot of data on it as well, heading into silly season, we're talking about gifts and stuff. Fitness devices, like wearables.
Yeah, I love it.
Like,
I thought that's where we're going. Good.
Yeah, like, do they do what they promise? Probably not, right? At the same time, can they be very useful? Absolutely, right? So what I'm talking about here is like, your Apple Watches, your Fitbits, your Garmins and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, is the Apple Watch's heart rate monitoring, as good as they claim it is? 110% it is not.
No.
But at the same time, the idea of, what are they called? The closing the exercise rings, right? It gamifies exercise for people. It gives you a reminder.
Yes.
Like, I'm always teasing my wife. Like, if we go for a walk, I'm like, better start that exercise ring. Like, you want to be closing those rings.
Yeah.
But for her, like, it does make it more fun.
Definitely.
Right? Even in the gym when we have the My Zones and you score points.
Yeah.
Right? it gamifies the process.
Yeah.
It gives you a little bit of a reward, I guess, a little bit of a dopamine hit for doing the thing.
Yep.
And that can actually make a really big difference for people.
100%. And I think awareness is a big part of that. And like you said, having that understanding that, okay, I am seeing results, because a lot of what we do from a physical point of view, there is that delayed gratification. But if you see your MEPs go up, if you see your rings get full, it's like, okay, cool. I'm getting reward for effort straight away, which is going to be really motivating.
Yeah, absolutely. And for some things, like let's use steps, for example.
Yeah.
Like walking more, if you're trying to lose weight or just for your overall health, is a good thing. So there's that arbitrary 10,000 steps a day.
Mm-hmm.
You could have no idea how many steps you're doing, right?
Yeah, and think you're around the mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have a Fitbit, it's going to tell you.
Yeah.
And then if you know, hey, I'm getting 3,000 steps a day. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Then you can see, oh, I've gone for an extra walk now. It's gone up. Great. If you start walking more and you can see it on your Fitbit, and then all of a sudden you start losing weight, well, what's going to happen to your motivation to go for a walk? It's going to increase. It's going to be easier for you to then keep on doing that thing over and over and over again. So, yeah, I think if there's a gimmick out there, which I would say wearables are a gimmick at the end of the day, that is probably more useful than others, it would be the wearables.
Yep. No, I think that's fair.
And I think, there's probably a diminishing returns, like the cheaper Fitbit versus like a really expensive one. I don't think you get that much more out of the really expensive one.
No.
But they do certainly raise that awareness and make it fun.
Yeah. And that is a big part of it. Because I think for us, working with clients over the years, experience tells us that there is no, like you said, magic solution. There is no secret formula. The code really is doing what others don't do consistently enough to actually get the reward for effort. And it's going to be, those small things over time that has that compounding effect that is the ultimate game changer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think for both of us, the only gimmicks that we're for is something that makes it easier for you to do those small things consistently, then I'm all for it.
100%.
So if that's an Apple Watch, great. If that's taking a pre-workout before you go to the gym, you have my full blessing to do it. Like, do I think you need it? No. But if you go, I've had my pre-workout, I've got my gym shoes on, so now I'm going to go to the gym and I'm more likely to actually go, then 100% take the pre-workout. Right? It might be a placebo, but the placebo doesn't mean it's wrong.
No, that's it.
Be a really powerful thing.
About to say, placebo or not, like if it actually helps you take that action and do what you need to do and you feel good as a result, then it's like, well, it's tick the box.
100%. I guess, what are we going to close on when we're talking about fitness gimmicks here?
Well, yeah, I think, like we said, I think, we touched on the idea that if it is too good to be true, or it does sound too good to be true, then it is most likely too good to be true. And there is really no secret in terms of, chasing this thing that is a quick fix solution. Everything takes time. But if you can, I guess, start small and then know that I'm building this over time, then, you're going to set yourself up in such a better position by doing the things, like I said, that, yes, on face level, they might be easy, like going for a walk, is easy to do. But as we've, previously spoken about in other podcasts, it's also easy not to do.
100%.
So you still have a choice within that. And obviously they're two completely different paths that you can take. Where, obviously at the end of the day, if the person's taking the walk and they're doing it consistently enough, their trajectory is going to be in a much better place than the person who is constantly, finding outs and reasons not to do it.
Absolutely. I think the only thing I'd echo there is I completely agree. But as humans, going back to our gimmick thing, we love to overestimate what we can do in a really short period of time. But then we also really underestimate what we can do in a longer period of time.
Love that.
So all those little things that seem really insignificant. Right? It's like, and we've said this a million times before, like, we don't care how much weight you can lose in a month. Couldn't care less. Right? But let's just say if all you did was, okay, I'm going to drink 2 liters of water a day. I'm going to sleep 8 hours a night. I'm going to walk 10,000 steps. And I'm going to go to the gym 2 to 3 days a week. Do that for a year. You'd be a completely different person. Right? And there's no diet. There's no crazy workout routine. So really, like, it is the magic pill.
It is.
You don't have to do anything that's really hard. You just have to do those basic things over and over and over again.
Yeah. Which, again, is easier said than done.
100%.
Yeah.
That's the battle.
And I think it's just because in the time, because you said like they're so insignificant that it feels like they go, I guess, unnoticed. Just because it goes unnoticed doesn't mean it's going to go unrewarded. And that's what you touched on there. So, yeah, I think it's just, consistency of effort over time is always going to be the thing.
100%. 100%. Well, I think that we've pretty much summed that up there.
Fantastic. And yeah, don't be fooled if you've seen that vibrating dumbbell.
Thank you for tuning in to the Performance Hub podcast. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to see more Hub-related material, check us out and follow us on Facebook, The Performance Hub, Instagram, Performance Hub _Melbourne. Until next time, keep pushing the limits of human performance.